Friends, we better get serious about deterring Russia and China again. I'm talking about nuclear deterrence. From a Wall Street Journal editorial by Chad Crow, quote, the political landscape has evolved from the post-Cold War era when a bipartisan coalition of Washington elites could readily call for the projection of American power in faraway conflicts, especially in Europe, even if the connection to U.S. interest was attenuated. After 20 years of counterinsurgency in Iraq and Afghanistan, Americans are understandably weary of foreign entanglements. We can take non-military steps now to reestablish deterrence where it has failed and shore up areas where it is weak. The Wall Street Journal goes on to suggest 6 steps to deter Russia and China. The Biden administration must act now. I agree. Here are the 6 steps it should take. First, key European partners like Poland, Romania, and the Baltic states have requested significant military hardware that remains unapproved or stuck in the U.S. bureaucracy. We've been calling for approval of Abrams main battle tank sales to Poland for more than a year, and commend Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and Secretary of State Blinken for approving the deal last week. The administration should expedite all similar requests. Second, Finland and Sweden are highly concerned about Russian adventurism. Both maintain very capable militaries and defense industrial bases, and they have impressive intelligence services. Washington should support the growing sentiment in Helsinki and Stockholm to seek NATO membership. That would strengthen the alliance's northern flank, including in the critical Arctic area. Third, the U.S. should reassess legacy basing in Germany. Berlin has shown itself unwilling to undertake a leadership role throughout the Ukraine crisis. This development should come as a surprise given the German industrial elite's dependence on Russian gas and the Chinese export market. With NATO having moved east, Germany is no longer a frontline state. U.S. forces there, other than those manning hospital facilities and air bases, should be repositioned to outposts in Poland and the Baltics and bases in the Indo-Pacific, AOR. Fourth, the Biden administration energy policy requires urgent reexamination. Of course, oil's at $100 a barrel. It hurts U.S. consumers, but it puts billions into Putin's war machine and Iran's nuclear program. Appeasing Russia and Germany by reversing the Trump administration's policy on Nord Stream 2 pipeline clearly failed. It's time to stop Nord Stream 2 once and for all. Furthermore, the U.S. must restore its energy leadership and independence, I would add. Finishing the Keystone pipeline would send Russia and the world a potent message that America is committed to energy independence permanently. Fifth, NATO must show its adversaries unwavering resolve. Allies that fail to increase defense spending to the required 2% of gross domestic product within 3 years shouldn't play a leading role in NATO. During Trump's presidency, the alliance's defense spending commitment grew by nearly $400 billion through 2029. But American taxpayers are still carrying a disproportionate burden for defending Europe. Under these circumstances, it makes sense for only countries that pay 2% of their GDP for defense to enjoy full voting privileges in the North Atlantic Council, NATO's main decision-making body. And finally, Russia needs to face real consequences for deterrence to work. The West threatened sanctions but exacted no real penalties when Moscow annexed Crimea and set up a proxy government in the Donbass. The Biden administration's sanctions in response to the assertion that parts of Ukraine are independent were welcomed but proved highly insufficient to dissuade Mr. Putin from further action. The free world must make clear to Mr. Putin that Russia's economy will be fully cut off if he doesn't de-escalate forthwith. That means, at a minimum, removing Russia's banks from the SWIFT system and seizing all oligarch assets worldwide. Close quote. These are serious suggestions that should be implemented immediately. After all, this is what is being seen in Russia tonight. Watch.
Veranstaltingen.
Friends, that is a nuclear mobile intercontinental ballistic missile with its operational team convoying somewhere while Russia is in a full-scale invasion war on Ukraine, and Mr. Putin has openly threatened us with nuclear attacks if we interfere. It's time to get serious before it's too late.